What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Double Dribble Podcast with D&D. I'm Destin.
And I'm Drew.
That's Drew right there. And today we're going to go over our reactions to KD's trade requests, some potential suitors who we think he could go to, who we think would like look best. We're also going to talk about the potential Kyrie and Russ trade that's been floating around. And we're going to also do a Would You Rather Russell Westbrook edition. So, Drew, what was your instant reaction when you got that notification KD requested a trade?
First thing I was thinking like Kyrie, like is never gonna. I was putting it honestly all on Kyrie. I was like, oh, like this, he's never gonna live this down. This is probably gonna stay with him for the rest of his career. Whatever. Like I was thinking that something that he did. I mean, clearly, like the events of what's happened this past year led to KD wanting out after what happened with Harden, and then the way they got swept in the playoffs. I was thinking all of that. Yeah. Only to find out that that's probably not the case, as it seems like him and KD, you know, I guess are on good terms, or maybe they're cool playing together still, potentially another destination. So it seems more like it's kind of hard to get the truth of exactly what went down, but it seems like Kyrie wanted that max deal and wanted, you know, that full contract, like 4 or 5 year deal. Guaranteed. Yeah. And the Nets weren't really giving him that because what happened in the past. I mean, since he's been there, he's been issues, like not playing games, sitting out for whatever reason, whether it's taking his little sabbatical for whatever, mental health checks, whatever, sitting out for COVID. Yeah, the whole thing, like it's just been a constant thing that they probably wanted. It was an issue, like it was a back and forth for like that whole week. And we were all thinking that it was a bluff by Kyrie because he threw out all these names for different teams, including the Sixers, which is just, come on, that's a joke. We know that's not happening. So it's almost like he was trolling. No, like he was just trying. Yeah, not at all. So I'm thinking like, okay, so then so maybe it turns out that because they only were able to agree on him opting in for that 1 year. And I guess they were going to come probably and reevaluate based on, I guess, what happened this season, if he was going to sit out games again. And I think KD and Kyrie probably had a conversation after he opted in. And he was like, you know, like, I don't think KD was happy about him. Because it seemed like, from what the reports are, that KD went to Joe Tsai and was trying to talk to the president or the owner and basically get him to, I guess, kind of override or get Kyrie to a max deal. He wasn't happy with that with that contract. And so it turns out like he's really backing Kyrie up. He's not happy about the Nets organization not doing right by his guy. And so now he wants out because he doesn't feel like they're committing to them. And it's kind of funny to me. So my initial reaction was to put it all on Kyrie, but I mean, KD is definitely culpable for this himself. Like he came and he joined Kyrie. He set this whole thing in motion, and he signed that 4-year deal. He didn't have to do that. He signed a 4-year deal with no opt out.
Before Harden and Kyrie both did.
Yeah, I was like, this man was. I'm like, he was fully committed. I thought he was 100%. He wanted to be there, right? You signed a 4-year deal, and you out like 1 year into it, not even. And and so it's like, it's craziness. And of course, it's turning up the whole NBA world. Everybody's talking about it. Everyone's speculating. I feel like though KD's getting off really easy in the mainstream media for the most part, as far as like his perception. I'm not seeing him. He's getting some criticism from like, I guess, just general public, some fans maybe.
Yeah.
But like as far as like most like actual like major media outlets, they're not covering and talking about like, oh, like he's quitting on the Nets. I mean, there's a few, but it's, for the most part, the general consensus is like, this is Kyrie's fault still. They're somehow flipping it like it's just all Kyrie's fault. KD is doing what's best for him. It's completely understandable why he wouldn't want to be there with him anymore. And there's not, and it's like, he's, and they're just like, oh, everyone's hyped about, oh, where is he going to go? Is he going to join the Suns? Is he going to join the Heat? They're already looking at trade scenarios. And I'm surprised. I mean, I'm a little surprised that like it's not like he. It's just to me, this is you could argue in some ways this is worse. I don't think it is, but you could argue in some ways this is worse than him going to Golden, like with what he did with Golden State. And now it just depends on how you want to look at it. But because he chose the situation, right?
Exactly.
He chose the situation. Like he signed to that 4-year deal, and now he's dipping. He basically got that whole franchise to mortgage everything for him. Remember, they blew up. They basically got rid of Kenny Atkins. Yeah, there you
go. Yeah. I sort of agree with that. I feel like they started to kind of rebuild, like not a great team, but like just like a solid foundation after what happened with Boston, like those years back. You remember when they traded all those picks and they could have potentially had Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, but like they didn't because Boston had their picks. But they kind of was like, regaining those assets and everything, and they had great assets. They had Spencer Dinwiddie, they had Karis LeVert, they had Jared Allen, they had Joe Harris, they had D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, they had like a nice little young team. I mean, they weren't going to do anything, but they were a playoff team.
But they had a nice coach. They had their picks, and you acquired 2 players basically for free in free agency.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like kind of perfect. Next thing you know, Harden wants to come, and that shook everything up. But yeah, I was just touching on that. And that's when they traded all their picks, and you're kind of at the mercy of the players now. And then they hired the coach that the players wanted, so it made it even more, depending on the players. But
because they had Kenny Atkinson and they wanted him out basically because they didn't really want to, I guess, follow his system or game plan or whatever.
It was more like KD and Kyrie. They wanted their guy. They wanted Steve Nash. Well, Kyrie was saying they didn't need a coach, but I'm pretty sure
Kyrie just wanted to do his own thing. Yeah. But KD did go along with that. Yeah.
My reaction to KD, I was getting out the shower. I was getting ready for work, and then I had like 6 text messages. I had like 2 missed calls. And for real, I took my phone. I'm like, what KD requested? What? I was like shocked. I'm like, and my instant reaction, I was just like you said, he was just over the Kyrie stuff, whether it was valid or not. That's like your opinion why Kyrie was playing, but it just got to a point where you wanted some stability, you wanted some reliability, and that's what I was thinking. Like that's why KD requested a trade. But as you said, it was more so KD. He's gonna rock with his boy, and the fact that the Nets understandably didn't want to commit to Kyrie long term because he's just a huge question mark, and KD, like he kind of saw the writing on the wall because it could have been Kyrie's last season, and Kyrie would have dipped off because the Nets, or maybe depending on how the season went, but Kyrie probably was going to dip off after this year, and KD still had multiple years left on his contract, so it was just, and then Ben Simmons was there, so he was like, y'all don't want to give my boy the long term deal. I'm out. But
I'm still looking at even then though, like play out that year with Kyrie, see what happens. Like y'all still have, what people can perceive as a favorite or contender, going into like they were before the if you look at the odds, they were favored again going into the season. They were like I think like top 2 or top 3.
They were one of the favorites. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so like, and assuming everybody's healthy and there's no vaccine situation again, then I figured like I would see why they wouldn't run it back. So it must be like he just really was that unhappy with how they handled the situation that he just didn't want anything to do with the organization anymore. I remember like hearing, I don't know how accurate this is because it's Kendra Perkins. I mean, but you heard, I'm sure you might have heard he was saying that they that for like basically since the season ended for like the past couple months,
He didn't talk to him.
He hasn't been returning calls from the GM. He hasn't been talking to anybody. Like the only person he ended up eventually talking to was the owner, but he wasn't talking to any of the management. And
I watched his podcast that he has, the Etceteras, and he was saying how he wasn't going to get involved with the whole Kyrie situation with management and everything. Like what they choose to do, he just wants to make sure the team is good, make sure the team is safe. That's what he's saying on his podcast. So I'm thinking, well, my first thought was like, well, he's not getting involved. Kyrie's probably gone if he becomes a free agent, but he decided to opt in. And when Kyrie opted in, everybody was like, okay, they're gonna run it back. We're gonna get to see Ben Simmons, Kyrie, KD on the court. If everybody's healthy and everything. And then just a few days later, he wants out. So
right after the opt-in, which is wild, but
yeah, I feel like as far as like on the court, I understand KD why he wants out. Just from like on the court like type things. Okay, you get Harden, and then the first year, Harden and Kyrie are both hurt, and you have to try to carry the team.
They all
in the
got
playoffs.
hurt.
yeah, but in the playoffs,
times, in the playoffs, you're right.
In the playoffs, you got to carry the team. Okay, that's fine. Let's run it back. And then you're missing your star point guard, Kyrie, because of the vaccine situation. And then Harden was still great. He was still at all-star level. They had like the best record in the East. And then
they had the best record in the East until KD got hurt. Once KD got hurt, that's when
KD got hurt.
Yeah.
Kyrie is still part-time. Harden doesn't want to deal with it. So Harden dips off. You bring in Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons doesn't play. And then you come back. Y'all make the playoffs. And some people saying, "Oh, KD was hurt." No, KD was balling. He was dropping 50 and doing all that before they made the playoffs. Boston you got to give credit to Boston how they defended him.
KD wasn't hurt. He just had a terrible series. It's kind of just one of those. It is what it is. There's not really any explaining that it was great defense as well, but it was.
But the reason I give KD some like blame on this, I just feel like when it comes to the Kyrie, I feel like he showed like a lack of leadership when it comes to like the team and the franchise. Like he showed like great loyalty to his friend, which is understandable. But as far as like being professional, you got to understand why the Nets chose to go the route that they went. As far as making Kyrie want to prove himself, because of the first year Kyrie was there, he didn't want to play in the bubble for whatever reason. They made the playoffs, he didn't want to play. Then the next year, when KD came back, he took like about 2 weeks off.
It was like two separate occasions too. He did it he did it before Harden got there, and I think he did it while Harden was there too.
Yeah, it was for something. I don't know.
I remember it was like something. He said it was like a mental health break because of like the stuff that was happening with like the George Floyd protests, and then he also said it was because of it was something with like. I remember he was kind of dishonest about something because they ended up like people saw him like
it's a video
party
or something. Club.
Yeah,
saying that. but then on top of his injuries, the injury concern with KD, and then the next year there's like the vaccine and everything. Which, from a personal standpoint, I understand it. If you don't want to take the vaccine, that's fine. But from like a professional standpoint, it's unprofessional because if it's a requirement for you to play or to do your job and you're not doing it, it's unprofessional. Like everybody had to do it. Like KD, Harden. Now, if you want to just stand on 10 and not give in, I completely understand. But you have to understand the effect that that's gonna have on the people around you, on the fans, on the players, the coaches, the
Yeah, and it's
GMs,
like
the owner,
it goes back to
everything.
like how it goes back to also how important is winning another championship really to you. Is it winning another championship as doing what it takes to win another championship, or is it like I want to win the championship if everything else is on my terms, exactly
Yeah,
how I want it to be, then I could win a championship.
yeah,
Because I think with Kyrie, it's more like that.
yeah,
And
and you know what I instantly thought about
when
was
he left, when he wanted out of Cleveland.
no. Andrew Wiggins was in the same predicament,
Yeah,
but he ended up getting the vaccine. And you know what happened? His team won a championship. Now,
yeah, but also,
later,
and I agree. Yeah, and I agree, but also Andrew Wiggins, like there's a lot more for him to gain, in playing. Kyrie almost is, he probably feels in his mind like, even though that's debatable if he is that, but he feels like, like I'm already set. I won a championship. I hit one of the greatest shots of all time. I'm that guy.
like
In his mind, he's on that level. He sees himself as like an all-time great superstar who's already won a championship, and I feel like he's not as concerned about, I really need to get this done. I really need to accomplish this. I feel like it's more of a secondary or tertiary type of thing for him,
Well, this is my thing, and this is why I bring up KD. I believe, I don't know this to be true, but I just believe that, like, a Draymond and a Steph was in the ear of Wiggins, like, kind of like pushing him toward, not like forcing him, but saying, look, we have a great opportunity to win. That may have, like, broken down some of the positive effects of the vaccine. And Wiggins had his thoughts about it or whatever, but like there's a certain level like a leadership that I don't think KD showed. Like instead of like talking to his boy, telling him, "Hey man, you gotta get your stuff together because we trying to do something big here. Like we have like a great opportunity. We have Harden, me, you. We probably like the most unstoppable offensive trio like in NBA history." And instead of doing that, I feel like KD rather just argue with people on Twitter.
Yeah. And I think that's KD's personality too. I think he's kind of admitted it in the past too. I mean, he's not like a leader like that. And with somebody like Kyrie is somebody that's like I wouldn't say he's a leader, but he's gonna lead. I would say he's a leader, but not in a good way. Like he's gonna make his point known and say what the case is gonna be, and this is what's gonna be. He gonna happen. Do him. It just may not be like the right type of leadership you want. Yeah, and so KD is probably going to listen to Kyrie, unfortunately, more than it's going to be the other way around. Just because that's just how.
And I feel like it should be the other way around. But
yeah,
that's the one thing that like I really want to critique KD about, just his like lack of leadership as far as like holding some of his guys accountable, especially his like best friends accountable for what, like.
And honestly, I would say that's an aspect that also extends to the court with KD too. I think like if you want to criticize him as far as his game goes, being a leader on the court as well. Like when it comes to like even just like the offense, like KD can go and like get buckets. He can go ISO and score whenever he has it going. He can get it going, whatever. But like this is what's going to happen. This is the type of play we're going to run. Get me the ball in this situation, type of thing. I feel like that's something that like that was an issue we saw later in that season and into the playoffs.
And who
KD just kind of he just went with the flow. Like he just let it like whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen.
And that was a problem. Well, I won't say a problem because they had like success throughout the years. But that was another issue with was with Westbrook.
Oh yeah,
because like there were times when people were questioning, was Westbrook better than KD? Now that was never the case.
Hell no.
Each other. Yeah, that was never the case. But
I do remember the argument.
Everybody,
still, like, is he more valuable?
everybody,
I mean,
like
people saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, but everybody like knew that Westbrook was like the leader of the team.
Yeah.
Now Westbrook, he has like a strong personality, and you got to have the right kind of leader to try to get him in line and talk to him. And I don't think KD ever did that. And they were still like one of the best duos, probably one of the best duos of all time, still. But like, I feel like KD's like, he's just a guy who just wants to go out, drop 30, get some boards, hoop, be efficient. And that's fine, but it's when you one of the greats, you have to show some leadership. Like any of like the top 10 guys we talk about, like all time, top 20 even, like they were leaders, and they were able to like galvanize guys. And like I was just thinking back to like KD, and we're gonna get into the potential suitors, but like the two teams he chose, I thought it was funny because the two teams he chose were Miami and Phoenix, and I was like, this dude wanted to go to the number 1 seeds.
Shameless,
but
no shame.
He was the number 1 seeds, but like he just wants to go, and Jimmy Butler can lead the team. Everybody knows Jimmy Butler is a great leader, and Chris Paul as well can lead the team. He just wants to go out, get to his spots, and hoop. All the extra stuff that some players, LeBron, made look easy, it ain't as easy as it looks. So I thought KD was in the super perfect situation out in Golden State, and he wanted to try to prove himself out in Brooklyn to be that leader. But I don't know, it just didn't work out that way, and it was unfortunate because when he came there, he started with an injury, and then
he didn't play the whole
happened.
first year. Yeah.
Some other injuries happened the second year, but like the lack of leadership, that's what really just stood out to me, like throughout this whole Brooklyn situation with KD. Not him hooping, because when he's on the court, he's still at like MVP level. He had one bad playoff series this year, but that's.
Yeah, I mean, he's admitting it basically, like that this failed, and I'm probably not going to try and do this again. Like, I'm just going to like think about it. Like, he came there to like kind of lead his own thing, build his own thing. This is going to be my championship. That like this franchise never won anything. I'm going to bring them the first championship, and nobody's going to be able to deny what I did. Because I remember that was a whole narrative, and he felt it. He even admitted it when he left Golden State. That like he didn't really look at those championships when he won. Like, it didn't feel as legitimate or as great as like everything that people said. He heard those things, and it affected his own perception of his own championships.
That's why he left. If he didn't, and some people say, "Oh, he said he don't care what people think." You don't care what people think. Why you left?
Oh, we know KD definitely cares what people think. This man can't stop telling people what he can't stop. Man is on Twitter like, what?
Yeah, man. Like, it's either, I'm not saying like from a personal standpoint, like I didn't like the move. I just thought it was just like a cheap move. But that don't mean it wasn't smart. It was super smart.
Oh yeah.
It was a basketball move. And leaving, I'm like, okay, you're gonna prove yourself, but knowing who you are as a person, not just as a hooper, but like as a person, as a leader, that was stupid. You was in a perfect situation just because Draymond yelled at you or whatever it was. But I give KD like on a basketball scale 1 out of 10. He like a 10 as a hooper, but as like a leader, it's more like a 1 or 2. And I think that's an underrated aspect of the game. But
yeah, and like him, like it would just kill me though. Like when I saw the teams, like the first teams that they mentioned, Phoenix, man, I'm like, this man literally just like opened up the NBA app and was like standings, sort of standings, just like, all right,
all right. Oh, yeah. Oh wait. So we can get into that right now. We can talk about the potential trade suitors for KD, but it's a very interesting rule that I was looking at earlier. So,
Are you talking about the Ben Simmons rule? Or
yeah,
the rookie? That is so
yeah.
wild to me, man.
So
Yeah, I saw that too.
let me. I'm on this website.
I don't
Okay,
know. I could even tell you right now the players they can't trade for.
Yeah, I have it too. The designated rookie extension. So if a player is on a rookie extension for up to 5 years, they can you can have more than one of those players on the same team,
But you
as
can't
long
trade.
as long as both of those traders. Oh no, as long as both of those players weren't acquired via trade.
Yeah,
Ben Simmons was acquired via trade in the James Harden.
Which is
deal.
such a weird. It's such a weird just random fact. Like I don't even know why it's a thing, but it's funny. Like that's in the collective bargaining agreement. But, yeah.
Because the what I was gonna say, because that was the thing that happened with I don't know if you remember when the Lakers were trying to trade for Anthony Davis in 2019 during the season.
Yeah,
I believe it's 2019. Yeah, 2019 during the season. The Celtics wanted to trade for him as well, but they couldn't have him and Kyrie on the team at the same time. I think they would have to wait into the offseason. I believe that's the case. Was it him and Kyrie? I don't know, but they couldn't. It was him and Kyrie, and then they would have to wait until the offseason to try to make the trade, and they probably was going to end up trading like Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown or something like that. But yeah, that was the deal, and yeah, that was the case for that. And looking back now, that's just the rule. You can't acquire two players via trade that are on rookie max extension, because Kyrie was acquired from the Cavs. Then in that case, Anthony Davis would have been acquired from the Pelicans.
Yeah, and the list is actually pretty long too. And it is. Of course,
long.
there's some players in there. It's like we know it's like it doesn't matter. They ain't gonna be traded no matter what, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But like it was Wiggins, Embiid, Book, Towns, Murray, Mitchell, Tatum, Adebayo, Trae Young, Shea, Doncic, and then Michael Porter Jr. Obviously, Doncic ain't going nowhere. Embiid ain't going nowhere. But everybody else to me on there, I mean, except for probably Tatum too. So those three are probably like untouchables. They ain't going nowhere. But everybody else to me, I can see as a potential trade. And now it's like it's not going to happen.
And that's the thing. Like even in like a 3-team deal, they can't acquire any of these guys, because it was reports out there that the Suns wanted to acquire like a young star, and these like basically like not all, but most of like the young stars in the league right now. And
yeah, the Nets want like supposedly like they reported they want like 2 All-Stars or 1 All-Star and a borderline All-Star level player or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, picks, but
yeah, but these like some like the young stars in the league, and like 2 of his potential trades that he wanted, it was Miami and Phoenix. Phoenix can't trade Devin Booker to even in a 3-team deal unless they give up Ben Simmons. And the same thing goes with Bam, because Bam is on that same rookie max extension, and you can't have Bam and Ben Simmons on the same team if they were acquired via trade, because Ben Simmons already acquired.
I'm be honest though. If I was I don't even know if KD would want to like. I mean, not like he has a choice, because I mean, like he's on a 4-year deal. Was he gonna just think about it? If KD gets traded from their team, is he gonna demand a trade from that team if like the Nets send him somewhere he doesn't want? I mean, they're not gonna send him somewhere he doesn't want to go. So
I mean,
it's very interesting to see how that works out, because
like I was saying it's I don't know it's hard, like from the outside looking in. I just don't know the relationship, because like the Nets have no like it's not like KD has like a no trade clause,
No, he
So
doesn't. He doesn't have
they
anything.
they could send him wherever the place they think gives like the best package, and KD would have to go play
And they
now.
should.
Yeah, and I don't know if they would do that. Like, I think they will win the trade. No, not win, but like they will benefit more uh than the trade of KD. I don't think they finna just straight like, nah, we finna send you to Orlando, like or something like that. But
So we already know the only team that would like probably do something like that has already done it before, which would just like do a straight up deal for like somebody that may not really want to stay, and that's Toronto. But
exactly, in Toronto, I don't believe they have anybody that's on like a rookie max. I don't think. Yeah, they don't. And there was some trades that I saw that had OG Anunoby and Scotty Barnes, and that's a young player who can turn into a star, which could be like extremely attractive for um for Brooklyn, along with a lot of picks, and that could turn into like a 3-team deal, some type of way, a
if I'm
multi-team
Brooklyn,
deal.
that's the one I'm probably looking at the most. Is sending KD there, trying to get Scotty Barnes back, and like maybe some future picks. I don't think KD's going to go there. Like if they don't have to have at least have Siakam has to be there. Somebody has to be there.
Yeah.
But like I still don't think that KD would want to go there. Like if that trade happens, he's not going to have much choice unless I just can't see him demand another trade as soon as he gets traded. So he's going to probably play out that season. But I think that's going to be. I mean, that's not going to be better than what he's leaving in Brooklyn. I just don't see it. But
that's the thing. It's like, where is he gonna go?
that's a better situation.
Yeah, that's like as far as like collection of talent at least, because even in Brooklyn, he has like great role players. Really, what they was missing. I mean, KD and Kyrie, they could have stepped up better in the playoffs. Like they could have played better. Don't get me wrong, but they were missing another guy like Ben Simmons to help.
Yeah,
like,
wing defender.
Like get them, defense and easy transition points. Like get them out and open. Like I don't know, something, just anything. And they have that on the roster. He just wasn't available for whatever reason. But
And now he
yeah, and it's like looking around the landscape of the league, as far as like a collection of talent, it's hard to find one better than the situation that he's in now.
like you could say Phoenix, but like Phoenix would have to keep almost everybody, and him just like I guess like if they keep Booker and I mean what they would trade Bridges, trade Ayton, but I don't even think that Brooklyn wants him. But yeah, Bridges, Ayton, and then maybe Cam Johnson.
Yeah, and that's a lot of depth you're giving away. I know you're getting KD, but you're giving away like your star big man, your defensive player of the year caliber wing, and you're giving up another young sniper like that. And those are all young players who only getting better. Really, I would like to see my Mikal Bridges actually, kind of with the ball in his hands a little more. But
yeah, let's not talk about Miles Bridges.
Oh yeah, not Miles Bridges.
Yeah, let's not talk about him. Oh my Lord,
idiot. But yeah,
man.
nah,
career over.
Oh man, that's messed up. But that's a potential trade right there. I know Mikal, he got an extension, but he didn't get like a 5-year extension. So I guess like they can find ways for the money to match. And DeAndre Ayton could be involved in like a signing trade, But is KD, Booker, and Chris Paul better than Ben Simmons, KD, and Kyrie?
I think
don't
so.
know. I mean, well, possibly.
I would say so. Yeah.
I
would say probably for sure. But I just don't know about like the depth, and then
they lost some depth, but they still. I think they have better coaching.
Pick up. They have better coaching, and you could pick up some guys like.
Yeah, because
there's still some guys like.
When you have like star players on your team, especially a player like KD, other players gonna want to play for them. Like even on minimum contracts, so other players gonna play. But
if I'm Phoenix, honestly, I probably would do it, but like it's. But I mean, Chris Paul only has however many. Like he doesn't have much long left. He has a couple years, maybe.
Yeah, and I'm really leaning Phoenix right now because anyway, did you ever see that Windhorst video and the Windhorst meme? He was like, "What's going on in Utah?" And like a couple
Man,
hours later, Rudy Gobert was traded, and that trade was kind of wild.
this is
I think
man.
I
I
think they
watched that. I watched that whole clip. But did you just see like the meme, or did you actually watch like that whole
the whole
segment? Like,
clip. He had like
man,
the segment in his grasp. He was like, "Why do you think that
this
is?"
man.
It was funny.
He said the most convoluted, long, like mysterious ass thing. Had everybody
He
at the
definitely
table
a storyteller.
they all were staring at him like he's about to drop like the most shocking breaking news of all time or something. And this man literally says nothing. He literally goes the whole way and basically doesn't really say anything. But he just like
Yeah. But then like a couple hours later, he looks like a genius because a trade goes down. But I'm putting on my Windhorst. I mean, something's going on in Phoenix because you have a star big man who's on the verge of stardom. I would say, extremely talented big man who I believe is a restricted free agent, and we like 4 days into free agency. Young, who has like great potential, and he still hasn't been picked up yet. Like I'm kind of suspect on that, and I'm trying to see why. I don't believe like the entire NBA like doesn't view DeAndre Ayton as being like as cold. I think the Suns they don't see his motor or something. That's maybe why they don't want to re-sign him to like a max or something like that. But
I mean that and the KD thing. The KD thing is throwing a wrench in probably everything as well. Like everyone wants to see where that's going to land to, and they probably are.
And that's what got me thinking. I'm like, he hasn't signed. Maybe they working on a potential. Oh yeah. Well, hold on. Would that work out though? DeAndre Ayton sign and trade for a max. Could he be on the same team as Ben Simmons?
I think he's. Wait, is he's an unrestricted free agent? He should be.
He's restricted. Like they can match it, but
yeah, they could trade him. Yeah,
but if he will be on a 5-year max, can he still be on the same team as Ben Simmons? Unless Ben Simmons is also traded. If it's a sign and trade, because it's still a trade. Because with those other guys that we were listing, they couldn't be on the same team because Ben Simmons was already on that team.
No, I'm pretty sure they can
via trade
because it was like a specific kind of rookie extension, right? It wasn't.
It was a 5-year rookie extension. So, but if he received that 5-year extension via trade, I don't know. We'll see. But
does it have to be a sign trade? Or couldn't they just? I mean, like he's I guess.
I would think it would be a sign and trade because they already have like 3 max contracts on the books. So to acquire KD, you would have to. To get rid of KD, you got to bring that salary back in. But that's what got me thinking, DeAndre Ayton. But the potential destination that I can see KD going to, well, I think he would be okay with as well, is Portland. I know a lot of people are not talking about it, but they have a superstar point guard over there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of as well.
They just picked up Jeremy Grant. They
gave Anthony Simons $100 million.
They gave Anthony Simons $100 million.
So they could trade him to Brooklyn. Brooklyn would probably be like, "Oh, we can build around him or add. He could be a part of our next core or whatever."
Yeah, exactly. And he has like crazy potential. People saw that when Dame was out. I was talking about him heavy. Like he can hoop.
Yeah, when I saw Dame,
they have Josh Hart over there. I don't know if would be a part of the trade, but if they were to keep Josh Hart, and still keep Jeremy Grant, that's some nice pieces to have. I think they will probably need some more like maybe like shooting or something, but with Dame and KD as your like foundation, that's crazy. So I think it's worth giving the look Portland, but some of these other teams with all these players, these young stars, people saying I don't know how likely it is. Like I don't see what Heat fans saying, "Oh, we can trade Kyle Lowry." Well, how does Brooklyn want Kyle Lowry? He make like almost $30 million, and he was like pretty much a no-show in the playoffs. So
another thing on the Portland thing, though, what makes me think that they're probably like a dark horse for this, and they haven't been talked about as much is Dame been posting a lot of stuff. Remember, he posted that thing earlier. I think he posted that KD thing like before KD requested the trade.
Yeah,
right?
it was just a picture of him and KD in his story.
Yeah, he posted the KD thing, and then also he had that whole like loyalty has an expiration date thing that he posted. And I'm like, okay, so like, I wonder if they're having some conversations behind the scenes, because that would actually make sense. Like, Dame doesn't want to leave. The Blazers. He's been trying to stay there supposedly for the longest. Maybe he has to be asking them to trade for KD. There's no way he's not. So they're definitely having contact with the Nets. Who knows what they're offering, but. I feel like he's probably telling them to offer all kinds of things, and that's probably why he made that post, possibly. It's because he really wants
something to watch as well, because let's say they don't get KD after Dame is maybe pressing him. He
might want out.
Yeah. So that's something to watch as well.
Yeah, there's a chance that he could possibly be saying like, y'all need to do whatever it takes to try and make that deal happen. Mm-hmm. Whatever deal's on the table for the Nets. Try and match it or do better, offer more picks, whatever. He's probably trying to get them to give everything for KD, and maybe they're not like doing as much as he likes, and so if they don't, he might. That's probably what he's trying to insinuate. But if I'm KD, that's the one that would be most appealing to me. Is to go to the Blazers.
And Dame is a leader, so he wouldn't have to worry about trying to lead the team. And Dame, he can get buckets. Dame, he would probably be like a mix between like every point guard he's played with. Like like a mix between Kyrie, Steph, Westbrook, like. No,
yeah, and like I think that would be like that, and then of course the Sun, depending on what they would have, after the trade.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like if I'm KD, that's probably that should be my top two. But I understand he had Miami on there, but. I also know who Miami could possibly even trade to get him. That's like the problem. Like they just don't have anything they could really. What are they going to trade? Tyler Hero and something? Like I don't even know.
They would trade Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson would definitely be a part of it, part of the package.
Yeah.
Now, it depends on if Bam is included, but Bam will have to be rerouted to another team, or if Kyle Lowry is included. Now, I don't know why Brooklyn will want Kyle Lowry with that much, like
not at this stage.
If he was like expiring or something, I kind of understand, but yeah, I don't see how. I know Brooklyn, they'll probably view Kyle Lowry as like not Kyle Lowry, Tyler Hero as like a potential growing.
I just don't see that. I don't see like the
foundation piece.
Yeah, I don't see them being an attractive option for the Nets. Like if the Nets are going to do the deal, like I see why KD would want to go there, but like from a Nets perspective, I think the best possible from both sides, like KD and the Nets, it's the Blazers, because I guess they have somebody in Anthony Simons, or it's, although this would not be on KD's side, for the Nets it'd probably be the Raptors second.
Toronto,
yeah. So it'd probably be like the Blazers, then Toronto, then maybe Phoenix, depending on what they're willing to offer. But I feel like it's going to be one of those three. I feel like it's going to be Phoenix.
Another team I have floated around, and then we can move to the next topic after this. I mean, AD, you my boy, but
AD for KD.
AD, one of my favorite players, but you want KD, man, and for the Lake show. But I don't know. I mean, I doubt it. I don't, because I mean, as far as like,
I think KD he doesn't want to play with LeBron though. I remember hearing some right. I think that's right. He doesn't want to play with.
Well, LeBron. KD, it doesn't matter what you want. Okay, you're gonna put on this purple and gold. You're gonna play with the greatest player of all time.
I mean, like, hey, you on a 4-year deal? Like, put him in the situation where he got to be the guy to demand two trades back to back.
I was watching Gilbert Arenas' podcast, and he was saying, like, imagine if Michael Jackson and Prince made music. He said, what better time to have the two best players in the league, like, arguably two best players in the league, like, when y'all gonna get this opportunity? Just get on the same team. Just do it. Like, he said, people act like they're not gonna watch. Everybody gonna watch. And, being a Lakers fan, I would love it now. If it was on another team or something, I'd be like, I don't know. But, yeah, being a Lakers fan, I would love it. And everybody's still going to watch. The seat's going to be, like he said, the front row seat's going to be $100,000. And everybody going to pay it still. Like, imagine KD and LeBron on the same team. That's crazy. But.
Oh, yeah. The Nets would, I think that's probably one the Nets would do. Like, you throw AD and some draft picks in there.
I mean, that's the best player out of all these, maybe not except for Luka, I'd say. Yeah, but they can't even get Luka.
Yeah, but I really do think that KD just does. I think KD wants to because I feel like I think that would be one step too far for him because he's always believed that he's better than LeBron. He's had that thing that I'm the best player or I'm a better player.
Yeah, he wants to eclipse LeBron. He doesn't want
and so
add on to
him.
LeBron.
Yeah, him teaming up and joining super teams or number one seeds or teams that are already set contenders. He doesn't have a problem with that, because he knows that he's still going to get a lion's share of the credit when they win a championship. But joining LeBron, no matter what, it's you join LeBron, and LeBron won that championship. You were like his 1B. That's what's going to be. No matter what.
What if it's the other way?
No, it's going to be that.
Yeah, probably.
No matter what, because the narrative is going to be set like he's going to LeBron. He's going to him. And LeBron's going to be like, LeBron is already the leader. Like, we know LeBron's a leader. LeBron's a better leader than KD. He's going to be the one that's running the offense. He's going to have the ball in his hands. Even if he's feeding KD and KD's getting buckets, he's still going to be the one, leading that team, And so making decisions on the court. KD's going to be a beneficiary. And it's going to be the ultimate bus driver / bus rider thing. People going
KD going to average kill him. KD going to get 36 points a game on 65% true shooting.
But LeBron going to average a 25-point triple-double or something.
And win Finals MVP.
And that's another reason. KD could not stand being on the same team as LeBron and LeBron win Finals MVP. I don't even think he would want to risk that because he knows that's going to automatically put him in a box. Nah, you just not there. You're not on that. It's gonna.
And that's why I can't buy what KD says. I'm just all about winning. I'm gonna go to the best situation for winning. Maybe that was the case at first when you went to Golden State, but you recognize the narrative around you. You recognize that you're not really a leader, and you want to be. You just not. And if you really just all about winning, go back to Golden State. Go play with LeBron. You play with LeBron, there's gonna be reps. Everybody know that. But he trying
honestly,
to
if I'm going to say, I don't even know if I would want to do
it. Yeah. I was looking, but Golden State, they have Wiggins, so I don't know if they. And I know Jordan Poole, Kuminga, Moses Moody, all those players would be
they could trade all those guys. Yeah,
but they can't trade Wiggins if
Wiggins. You're right, because Ben Simmons.
If Ben Simmons. So we'll see how this whole KD thing plays out. This was just wild. How he just
let's be honest. So if anybody's gonna end up on the Lakers, it's Kyrie.
Yeah, we're gonna get right into this. Our next topic, the potential Kyrie and Russ trade. There was a report that came out this weekend, I believe Saturday. Chris Haynes said they are in talks already. I read the article. It says that the Nets are willing to give up Joe Harris, a part of the deal, but the Lakers prefer Seth Curry, I think, because he makes less money and his contract is expiring, which is good.
Of course, the Lakers prefer Seth Curry, a perfect role player to have with LeBron and get out of here.
I mean, Joe Harris would be great. I mean, he's statistically a better shooter. I would say Steph is
but
like the better player. But I think if they were on like the same contract, and like I don't think it would really matter as much. But the fact that Joe Harris makes more, and Seth Curry's deal is about to expire. Let's say it works out or it doesn't work out. The Lakers will have like a whole bunch of cap space next year once Kyrie deal expires, once Seth Curry deal expires, if the trade potentially goes down. So that's more attractive to them. But what do you think the likelihood of this Russ and Kyrie deal happens?
I give it
like a percentage.
15%. I don't think it happens. Yeah. I'm going pretty low. Like I just don't see like the Nets. Like I mean, I just don't see them like taking on Russ. Like it's just, I don't think anybody would want to take on Russ in that situation. Like you already have Ben Simmons. Like I can't even imagine. Like what would that even look like? That's just gonna
Brick
be
fist.
You got one man that should not be taking shots. That's going to be taking all kinds of 3-point shots, and one man that don't want to shoot it at all. And
I think, well, only way I would see it like being functional if Ben Simmons is like at the 5, and you have other shooters. Yeah. Actually, I think like a Russ with Ben Simmons at the 5 and KD on the wing would be great.
Stop.
Work out, but
Stop. Get out.
No, I think we'll work out. I don't think they'll like win a championship or something like that. But that, like, you know, I mean, you need other pieces.
I don't buy the. I mean, this was a speculation on what it was going to look like, because we never got to see it. But I don't believe in the Ben Simmons at the 5 thing until I see Ben Simmons actually play the 5. I just don't. He's not a rim protector like that. He's not. I mean, he got to show it to me that he can play a Draymond Green type role. He ain't never been that guy. I don't believe it until I see it. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't think it's going to happen. I think that there's a very strong chance. Now, if you were going to ask me the percentage that Kyrie's going to be on the Lakers, I'm feeling like very high now. I'm feeling like maybe 75%.
Like next season?
Yes. Like I feel like whatever happens with this year, like he opts in. I don't know where he's going to get traded to. I don't know where that's going to land, where he's going to end up at. But I feel like when he can sign that next contract, or wherever he can go, or whatever I feel like that's going to be I feel like he's targeting the Lakers. Like he wants to go back there. He wants to go play for, the team that had Kobe Bryant. Like he's a huge Kobe dude. And I guess like
LeBron got history.
Yeah. And he's kind of like, over the past few years, he's kind of admitted that like he handled the situation with LeBron. He could have handled better, or he made some mistakes, and he feels like, young. Yeah. And so maybe there's a possibility there. And I just don't see where else. Like, I feel like that's like the Nets were like his thing. That was his city. That was his baby. That's what he wanted, right? He was trying to build that whole thing up. He was talking like he was like co-ownership or something, right? And
like me, Sean, and KD, we gonna get into the lab. Like, okay.
What was funny as hell is that was the last thing that he said. Like him and KD, you saw their last press conferences, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. These dudes were talking like it was like everything was all beautiful, and they were going to come back, and it was going to be great, and like this is a family, and we working all together side by side, we building this thing up, and like, and then what's killing me is like the whole time that he's saying that, like the ownership and GM Mark's is probably like watching that like, Kyrie, we're gonna have to have a talk about this, like because the whole time like they clearly were not buying none of the stuff that he was talking about, and so now it's like that's done. That's good. Like that's over and done with. I don't see any other situation that's just appealing to him out there. So, and the fact that the Lakers were there's been so much talk about him, seemingly, at least the reports are, that he's so open to it. I just think that it's not a matter of if. I think it's a matter of when. But I mean, I'm still going to say probably like 75% because you never know, something could happen. Who knows? The landscape could shift again. Who knows what happens? Yeah. But I'm going to say like 75 to 80%.
That he ends up on the Lakers, but
not this season
that the trade happens.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be a Russ for Kyrie type trade. I think it's like, I don't know what's going to happen with him right now this season. I don't know where he's going to end up. But I don't think it's going to be a Russ Kyrie trade that gets him there. I think it's going to be an alternative route to get him there.
So the percentage I say, I'm gonna give it like I'm gonna give it like a 50% chance, and this is why I was kind of like on your boat about it and everything when like the 15% uh, area before KD requested a trade. Because KD requested a trade, there's been reports that the owner Josiah said that he wants players who want to show up, want to work, want to gonna be there like every day. Like he doesn't want basically like with the things that Kyrie put him through, he doesn't want that. It doesn't matter who it is. And there was some people who saw the GM of I think it was Sean Marks and Rob Pelinka out like to dinner together a few times. Of course, the Kyrie LeBron relationship. And also the market for like a lot of teams, they one because he's on an expiring deal, so you kind of trade him for like a one year rental if everyone knows that he wants to go to LA. Are they attracted to that? You know, like it's like okay,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
gonna tell
right.
you like why would I trade for like why would I trade for Kyrie if he's just gonna leave for LA next season? Like it's like a one year rental. I'm wasting some assets. I'm wasting some potential draft picks and everything if he's not gonna be here long term. I think the Lakers kind of have that as leverage. Now they don't have too much leverage because they still have Westbrook, but like all that said together, plus the fact that they're already in talks, has me believing like this is likely gonna happen. I'm gonna say like 52% now. I'm gonna say 52%. But
Is there any is
that's
there any way that I feel like they could? Is there any way that the Nets could still sign Kyrie to like a longer extension
I mean they
before
can
doing a trade? They could he opted in, but they could still offer him an extension if they wanted to sign. So they could do some form of like a sign and trade to a team. I'm guessing if that's possible. Still. I'm pretty sure they could.
well,
Right?
he's already opted in, so it's not a sign and trade.
It would be
His
like an extension. Yeah, so they
extension
could sign
money
him
would
to an
be
extension.
just go to the next team.
Yeah, so they could do that then. They could like sign. They could like agree to like maybe if if he's willing to. I don't know if he would do that, but like if they want him to go like send him somewhere else, if a team was if that was going to be like a factor into it, that's the only thing I could think of. But yeah, like I don't know. I mean, if I'm the Nets, I would try everything I could to get AD for Kyrie, but yeah,
and he better be untouchable. That's what I know. I'm not giving him no AD for no Kyrie. I'm sorry.
Give him AD for Kyrie, only for Kyrie
I think,
to pull some wild shit when he gets there.
They have Russ, Kyrie, and LeBron. No, give me Kyrie.
Russ is almost up out of there. Just one more long year potentially.
Yeah, I mean, I like what the Lakers are doing. Like they didn't bite for any other trade. Like as far as like a Laker fan, I understand it. Now, a LeBron fan, I don't love it because we know LeBron's still great. We know he's still like top 5 player. Like it's ridiculous going into his 20th season, but there's gonna be a time where he's not. You don't know when that is, and you don't want to waste any type of moment. I think having Westbrook, I think Westbrook still has a lot in the tank, but as far as his fit with LeBron and AD, it doesn't work. And I think having him on the team, you don't really give like LeBron his best like opportunity to win. Now getting Kyrie, that changes everything because the chemistry, Kyrie's ability, this point in time. And I do think regardless, getting Kyrie or keeping Russ, the Lakers going to be much better this year because I have like a strong belief that Anthony Davis will be a monster this year. Like just with our new coaching, with his.
I mean, if he stays healthy, we're going to see him.
Yeah, with his motivation and health permitted, of course. But the fact that we just got Rasheed Wallace, we got Coach D Ham, who I think some players like they play better for coaches they respect. And I think a lot of players like respect Coach Ham. And I've been seeing this is like the first time I've been seeing like KD going to work in the offseason in a couple years because he was he out. My bad. I'm watching the Astros. But yes, sir. Going on bottom of the ninth, tie game. But yeah, this is the first time AD's been able to like work out over the past couple seasons because like after the bubble, he only had like a 2-month layoff, so he wasn't able to like really work on his game. And then after last season, he had like injury recovery because he out with the groin injury right against Phoenix. So and he was still playing like at great levels. He just wasn't shooting the ball well. Now he's been back with Lethal Shooter. Lethal Shooter said this is the first time they worked out in like a couple of years. So we'll see how he comes into the season. I got a strong belief that he's going to be a monster. LeBron's going to be a beast, regardless if we keep Russ or Kyrie. But having Russ is just the spacing and everything. I don't see how we can really just win a championship. Now with Kyrie, everything changes. I like some of our moves we made with in the offseason. Like we got younger players with like high upside and like defensive minded guys. We got Lonnie Walker, who I really like. Out of
y'all collecting also all the NBA Suns.
What you mean?
Shaquille.
Oh yeah.
Max
I was
Christie,
summer league team.
Scottie Pippen Jr. Like y'all collecting all the sons. Doug Christie's son, Scottie Pippen's son, Shaquille O'Neal's son. Like what?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I like this one guy we just assigned to this 2-way deal. I watching some of these named Cole Swider, I don't know, but he's 6'9". This dude is a sniper, Andrew. Oh my God, this dude can stroke the ball. They better sign him. and he can play a little bit of defense too. I like Max Christie and I like Scottie Pippen. Like we just watched them in summer league, but that dude
Max
Cole,
Christie so much. I swear, like every time I watch him, like when I watch like clips of him, he does like play a lot like Jeremy Lamb. He reminds me like a lot like how he moves, how he shoots, like his mannerisms, his on-court, like everything. Like it's very. That's what he reminds me of, Jeremy Lamb.
I remember Jeremy Lamb out of UConn. He was with Kemba Walker. That was a nice team. But yeah, I think the best opportunity to maximize what you have remaining in LeBron, you got to make this move for Kyrie, or not even make the move for Kyrie. Do something to make the roster more compatible around LeBron. Because having Russ and LeBron on the court, you need space in this league. You can't just put two talented guys out there. And LeBron can shoot, but he's not like it's not like this. He's Ray Allen or something.
Nah, yeah,
yeah. And LeBron needs the ball, and LeBron needs the ball. Russ definitely needs the ball,
right?
So that won't. It just I don't know. It just doesn't work. But
let's real quick. Let's touch on like some of the free agency stuff. Really, just a couple big ones.
Okay.
I mean, the one big one we got to talk about: Utah, Minnesota. Good Lord. So, what are your thoughts? I'm gonna let you go first. What do you think about this deal? What do you think, Gobert?
So, I like the aggressiveness. I believe that, and I saw a report that they prefer, not prefer, but they want to kind of not out small ball you, but basically kind of make you like get you out like the small ball. Like let's say they potentially were to play Golden State. Golden State plays Draymond at center. He's like 6'7". The Timberwolves will now have 2 7-footers down there, so they would say, okay, we'll have to deal with you, but we're gonna play bigger. We're gonna make
beat you up on the boards.
Yeah, beat you up this way, and we're gonna give ourselves like the best. That's when they just kind of double down on like going big instead of just going small and trying to match Golden State potential or the
theory they
should.
Yeah. In theory, they should win the rebound battle every night, or damn near every night. They should.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I think that like that's what I like about it is that it's going to be interesting to watch. So just from a fan perspective, seeing a team try this, because it's an old school, it's a throwback kind of way to play. Because especially with Cat, because Cat's not like, he's not the most. Yeah, he could shoot. Yeah, he could stretch it out, and he's a really good 3-point shooter. But he's not the most versatile. Like, he's not like AD or even like Al Horford. You know, like where it comes to how he can move on, play on the perimeter. Like he's not like that. So he still is a guy that plays a lot in the paint, and so he's not as mobile just in general. Like he kind of moves like, kind of slow. So him and Gobert both being like just two huge 7-footers. They're both centers. They're going to be starting together. We haven't really seen anything like that since like maybe like Tim Duncan and David Robinson. Right? And so like that's probably the last one.
That's a different era of basketball though.
Yeah,
because the problem with what they're doing is, you have to guard them, but it's not like Rudy Gobert is like a scoring threat anyway.
Exactly. He doesn't have no 15-footer or nothing like that.
Yeah, they're gonna have to guard. Imagine them like against like the Clippers, a team that's like all wings, who anybody can take you off the dribble. Cat and Rudy Gobert in the paint, a monster. But once they bring Rudy Gobert out, he struggles, which understandably, but it's we got to see. But
I think in the short term and like immediately, I think it does probably make them better. Like in the regular season, like they should win more games. Like if they don't win more games, that's a colossal fail. But I feel like they should win more games in the regular season, and they should have a higher seeding. But the problem is in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's the thing. They gave up.
Was it a walk-off?
Jordan just hit a walk-off.
Damn. This man
Jordan.
This man be going crazy.
Man, I should have went to this game. Hey, MVP. MVP that man, Jordan.
Hell no. He ain't gonna be no MVP.
You tripping.
Nah, man. He ain't gonna be an MVP. Like, he DH. But
I just think they gave up a haul. Like they gave up I think they gave 4 or 5 players.
Huge overpay. Like they gave up. That's the type of thing that you would give up for KD, and they gave that up for Gobert, which is like, it's still baffling to me, like how much they overpaid. Like there's no way you telling me that if they got on, like if you're in that conversation on that call, that they were asking for more. I really wish I could have been in the room and heard how that whole conversation went down for the trade for Gobert. I'm like, because they say like, hey, like we're gonna give you all this for Gobert, or was there actually like negotiations like, nah, man, y'all need to give us one more pick. Hey, we ain't gonna do the deal. We walking away if y'all don't give us one more pick swap. Like what? Like y'all already like getting away with murder. Like they were getting everything. It didn't make any sense.
It was Malik Beasley. It was Jared Vanderbilt. It was Patrick Beverly.
And their first round pick, Walker Kessler from this draft.
From this draft, and there's another guy.
So it was like 6 first round picks, basically. I think it was right. Like it was 5 or 6. If you count Kessler, it's basically like 6.
Pretty much,
because he was technically he's a first round
pick from this year, yeah.
And so that's wild. Yeah. And so like I just don't understand. Like
all I said, when a team give up a haul like that, all I gotta say is better win the championship.
Danny Ainge robbed these dudes.
and that it reminded me when and it was crazy. Windhorst brought it up that time when he went on that whole soliloquy of when he robbed Brooklyn some years ago. He traded out of their prime PG and KG and Jason Terry. I said PG, Paul Pierce and KG and Jason Terry. He got all the picks from Brooklyn, and those picks turned to Tatum and Brown. Now it sucks that for him, he out the door and then they make the finals and everything. But he kind of laid down everything and built that that foundation, drafted those guys and everything. Acquired Brad Stevens. Now Brad Stevens is the GM now, but then he's kind of like doing what he's kind of doing in Boston, and he's banking on the fact that this won't work out between Minnesota and Rudy Gobert.
Like I don't
max deal. Yeah. Cat just signed a max.
Yeah, 4-year extension, right? And then I'm trying to think like the most I can see them getting like is like second round with this I I can see them win the playoff series maybe, depending on the matchup maybe.
Yeah,
but I don't see them like that's just like.
I mean, you still have Ant who's getting better. I like their Ant can turn to a superstar actually, but I like their pickup of Kyle Anderson. I really like Kyle Anderson, slow mo. And Rudy Gobert is going to improve their defense for sure.
Oh, he always does, especially in the regular season. Like he's like one of the biggest.
They lost some key defenders though, and Patrick Beverly, Jared Vanderbilt, and some scoring with Malik Beasley. Yeah,
but that man won the championship for them last year.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? After he got traded, he said, "Now it's time to bring another team to the playoffs." That's what he tweeted.
This man just so silly, man. Because you're the reason why they made it. I mean, like, if anything, we give you some credit for Minnesota because they ain't used to doing much. Mm-hmm. But like them other teams,
I believe let's keep some of his leadership though maybe helped them, like his locker room presence and the way he performed, even in like the play-in game, like was a big reason why. And even in the playoffs, like he was solid for them against Memphis too. But
I'm gonna give him the credit for Minnesota, but like those other teams.
But he said time to bring another team to the playoffs. Like
man, you usually be injured on the bench while other teams.
Like, are you like the fifth best player on the team? Even I don't know. But that's pretty funny. But all I know is Minnesota, y'all better win the championship.
That ain't happening, man. Man. They gonna get Cat and Gobert out there on the perimeter guarding the whole playoff series. It's gonna be
spinning around. Imagine them guarding Steph Curry. Like Draymond go get the ball, and Steph Curry.
I think it's gonna be even worse for Cat. It's gonna probably even be worse for Cat being out there. Like, oh Lord, because he's gonna be out there even more. He's gonna be. Oh man, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun to watch. Even if it's a disaster, it's gonna be fun to watch. So the Sixers, real quick. Now the Philadelphia Rockets or Houston Sixers. This man, Daryl Morey, came and got all the players that he could possibly get. They used to wear a Rockets jersey and sign them to their biggest contract of their life. PJ Tucker got the most he's ever gotten in a 3-year deal. You got Daniel House, who was like on the vet minimum like last year. And now he getting like $8 million for like 2 seasons, and he got our G League Finals MVP, Trivia Queen, and then I didn't even notice. I didn't realize. Yeah, and then he signed him, and then he got of course in the trade they traded on draft night they traded Danny Green, like first round pick, to get DeAnthony Melton, who was in Memphis, but he got drafted in 2018 by the Rockets. And he didn't play. He didn't really play for us. We traded him like almost immediately. Like I think the next during the season. But so like they added some more depth to that team. It's gonna be interesting to see like exactly what they're going for. You think the Tucker thing to me was
Oh no, I was going to say. So Harden hasn't re-upped just yet, right? They're still working out the.
Nah, they said that like on the weekend he was supposed to sign. And they said that there was a meeting in the Hamptons, and then all we saw was that these dudes had a party.
That was at the club.
It was at what's his name? Is it Dave Rubin? No, not Dave Rubin.
McMill was there.
Oh yeah, it was like one of the former like part owners of the Sixers. I think it's Tim Rubin. Can't remember, but like he's like a billionaire or something. But like that whole party was like it was like at his house. Like that whole thing that we saw all those shots from, that was at some dude's house. Like
I thought that was at the club.
Yeah, like this man got like a club in his house. It's ridiculous. But yeah, they were over there like celebrating. So I'm guessing they celebrating them new contracts they just got. too.
Indeed was
But,
there
like-
and everything. and there's rumors that they're trying to go get Eric Gordon too.
Yeah, I saw that, but like I just don't see. Like I'm praying that don't happen because I don't want to take. I know what they're trying to trade. I don't want no Matisse. Matisse Thybulle.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
I
you
don't
want Matisse Thybulle on the Rockets?
Nah, they can keep that. They can keep that. No, thank you. But yeah, they that's what I know they're trying to trade. Like Morey trying to get up off him. He's been trying to trade him for like since draft night. But yeah, like it's that's interesting to me. But I mean,
I like some of the defensive pieces they got, and they got some defense and shooting, just some 2-way.
Yeah, they got some depth
threats.
now. Like they didn't have really no wing depth, and they were playing George Niang out there. So now now they don't got to rely on him.
He was like inconsistent as it is.
But yeah, so no, that'll be interesting to see how that. I guess whatever he's trying to recreate with Joel Embiid, he's basically trying to recreate the 2018 Rockets with Joel Embiid in center. So we're gonna see what happens. But
pretty much, I like it though, and the fact that Harden like sacrificing, he taking less money to.
He had to take in. I'm curious to see what the contract is because he had to have taken a decent amount less now because they signed. They were going to be maxed out. Like they couldn't sign anybody. Now they signed Tucker and House, and so like it's going to be interesting to see what the deal is. But anyways, let's get on to this.
All right.